Boo! And welcome to First Lutheran Church for our first annual Halloween concert recital. I'm Pastor Jeff Johnson, and yours truly will be playing the organ today and the flute, accompanied by Mr. John Totter, our madcap maestro himself. John will be playing solo organ music, and I will be also. Before and after some of the music, we will be reading excerpts from that great American poet Edgar Allan Poe. And what could be more Halloweeny or more appropriate than The Raven? The Raven by Edgar Allan Poe. Once upon a midnight dreary, where I pondered, weak and weary, over many a quaint and curious volume of forgotten lore, while I nodded, nearly napping, suddenly there came a tapping, as of someone gently rapping at my chamber door. "'Tis some visitor," I muttered, "tapping at my chamber door, only this and nothing more." Ah, distinctly I remember, it was in the bleak December, and each separate dying ember wrought its ghost upon the floor. Eagerly I wished the morrow, vainly I had sought to borrow from my books surcease of sorrow, sorrow for the lost Lenore, for the rare and radiant maiden, whom the angels name Lenore, nameless here forevermore. Our first piece on the concert is from Scandinavia and from that son of Norway, composer Edvard Grieg. We take you to the Hall of the Mountain King, where we meet the most terrifying monarch of all. Listen if you dare. I'm so glad we survived the journey to the Hall of the Mountain King. But now, some more of Edgar Allan Poe's The Raven. Deep into that darkness peering, long I stood there wondering, fearing, doubting, dreaming dreams no mortal ever dared to dream before. But the silence was unbroken, and the stillness gave no token. Only the only word there spoken was the whispered word, Lenore. This I whispered, and an echo murmured back the word, Lenore. Merely this and nothing more. Back into the chamber turning, all my soul within me burning. Soon again I heard a tapping, somewhat louder than before. Surely, said I, surely that is something at my window lattice. Let me see then where that threat is, and this mystery explore. Let my heart be still a moment, and this mystery explore. 'Tis the wind, and nothing more. Open here I flung the shutter, when many a flirt and flutter. In there stepped a stately raven of the saintly days of yore. Not the least obeisance made he, not a minute stopped or stayed he, but with mien of lord or lady perched above my chamber door, perched upon a bust of Pallas, just above my chamber door, perched and sat, and nothing more. Then this ebony bird, beguiling my sad fancy into smiling, by the grave and stern decorum of the countenance it wore, though my crest be shorn and shaven, thou, I said, art sure no craven, ghastly grim and ancient raven, wandering from the nightly shore. Tell me what thy lordly name is on the night's Plutonian shore. Quoth the raven, nevermore. Next, a musical journey into the underworld of the god Pluto, where we meet the doomed romantic couple Orpheus and Eurydice. Orpheus, who has had the most beautiful voice in the world, has lost his beloved mate Eurydice to the terrors of the underworld. Only Orpheus can save her with his beautiful voice, drawing and coaxing her out of the underworld. But there's a catch. Eurydice cannot look back as she leaves the underworld. If she does, she is lost forever. Imagine, if you will, the flute solo being the voice of Orpheus, coaxing Eurydice out of the underworld in this beautiful dance of the spirits by Christoph Gluck. And now, the final verses of Edgar Allan Poe's The Raven. Prophet, said I, thing of evil, prophet still if bird or devil, by that heaven that bends above us, by that God we both adore, tell this soul with sorrow laden if, within the distant Aidenn, it shall clasp a sainted maiden, whom the angels name Lenore. Clasp a rare and radiant maiden, whom the angels name Lenore. Quoth the raven, nevermore. Be that word or sign of parting, bird or fiend, I shrieked, upstarting. Get thee back into the tempest and into the night's Plutonian shore. Leave no black plume as a token of that lie thy soul hath spoken. Leave my loneliness unbroken. Quit the bust above my door. Take thy beak from out my heart, and take thy form from out my door. Quoth the raven, nevermore. And the raven, never flitting, still is sitting on the pallid bust of Pallas, just above my chamber door. And his eyes have all the seeming of a demon's that is dreaming. And the light lamp o'er him streaming throws his shadow on the floor. And my soul from out that shadow that lies floating on the floor shall be lifted nevermore. We wish you a truly safe and happy Halloween, safely, appropriately distanced. Linus Van Pelt, a Peanuts comic strip. John Totter and I leave you with these fond Halloween wishes. May your pumpkin patch be sincere. May the great pumpkin rise and visit you with many presents. And may the raven nevermore cross your path. Finally, what Halloween concert would be complete without the toccata and fugue in D minor by Johann Sebastian Bach? May the hairs rise on the back of your neck. May your spine be chilled. And may you be Bach in church tomorrow on All Saints Sunday. Farewell.